Am I late to crypto? It's the number one question we are getting. JV, am I late to crypto? We're going to address that deep question today. I'm going to show you a video from Raul Paul. We've been talking a lot about the next 6 years. I'm going to break down some history, I'm going to break down some patterns, and then I'm going to share with you my opinion on whether I think you're late to crypto or not. And I'm going to give you some tools and resources and some patterns you can follow to help you free your family over the next 6 years. So the question is, am I late to crypto? I want you to think about this for just a moment. There was this moment in time where people were starting to use email, or when the email first came out, or the internet. That would be like saying during this time right now, am I late to email? There were so many people saying, there's no way they're going to use this internet. They're not going to use email. Nobody's going to use this. Do you realize that's where we're at right now? Because you're researching this and because you're hearing about it, your paradigm changes. So when you start to research this, the algorithm feeds your algorithm with it. So it seems like it's the only thing in the world. Like for me to hear from somebody that cryptocurrency is a fraud, that they know nothing about crypto seems so weird to me because it's the paradigm that I've created. I've been deep in it since 2020, 21, 22, 23, 24, and I have built a diversified portfolio, and that's all I'm in every single day. So my surroundings is people building wealth, Augusta Rule, Rockefeller Trust, cryptocurrency, profit taking, all these things. So it's my reality. But as I step out of that bubble and I start to talk to people, go talk to 10 people and ask them, do you understand cryptocurrency? Or have you heard of Bitcoin? Have you heard of XRP? Out of 10 people, there'll probably be one that maybe has heard of Bitcoin or even remotely understands what cryptocurrency is. What they'll usually do is they'll parrot, oh, I heard it's a Ponzi scheme. And that's our grandparents and our parents. That's their generation. This is the key factor. First step is to understand we're moving from an era of people playing characters telling us what to do to people with actual character showing us what is actually happening and living what to do. So that's key. We used to sit there and watch a television that told us a vision, channeled information, and it programmed us to think Tide is the greatest detergent. Now you can go on TikTok and type in Tide, and you have real people doing real reviews. You had Tucker Carlson, who got let go from media and absolutely went parabolic. Why? Because we're in the era of authenticity. So to start, are you late to crypto? You are very, very early. Okay, now here's the key factor. Let's talk about history and then we'll come to present day. And I'm going to show you a video after that with Raul Paul, and I'm going to break it down a little bit further. So if we go back a little bit further to 1971, well, let's go to 1913. In 1913, the Federal Reserve was created. Since 1913 to present day, the US dollar has lost 97% of its purchasing power. So the Federal Reserve that was created to balance out the job markets and to control money supply has shrunk the dollar's value by 97%. There was a big shift in 1971 when we detached from the gold standard. That made our money fake. So go study fiat. Fiat is fake currency. So since 1971, we were in a pretty good position. The 80s, the 90s, we had a positive balance sheet. Okay. As we went into 2000, this is really important. I'll kind of speed up the timeline. We had the dot-com boom, we had the internet boom. Then we went into the housing collapse that our parents got to experience, and it wrecked many people's retirement and their lives. Okay. 2008, we transitioned into 2009. We're starting to tip debt versus GDP. Okay. We have more debt than we have income. In 2009, all of a sudden, Bitcoin's created by a pseudonymous person named Satoshi Nakamoto. And they still, we're going to do some logic here. They still say they don't know who it is. At the same time, Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa come together to de-dollarize, right? Then we transition along. We start getting back on our feet in America. But remember, America's a dominant currency. And so all these other countries are looking at us saying, you guys can't even control your monetary system. So we're going to start to create our own system and we're going to start to de-dollarize, okay? Something was very important as well. BlackRock was tapped by the Federal Reserve in 2008, around 2009, 2008, to balance out the markets. So BlackRock, the largest asset manager in the world, Larry Fink, was tapped to balance out the American markets. Okay, around 2012, the Mayan calendar ended. But what I believe the Mayans meant by that, they said the world was going to end. It was a transition into the breaking away from the old and birthing into the new, which we're heading into that Aquarius age right now. Okay, the FOMC was created. You had Rosie Rios told to reduce coin and cash usage. Obama turned the printing machine on full blast in a country that had more debt than they had income. Then we go into 2020, boom, everything gets shut down. But in between 2017 and 2020, the bankers are telling us that crypto's a fraud. Run as fast as you can. Jamie Dimon. I don't care about Bitcoin. At the same time, go study the back end, what they were doing. At the same time, go study Ethereum. Go study Ethereum Enterprises, Consensus. At the same time, JP Morgan was creating Onyx, their own blockchain technology. Jamie Dimon, Larry Fink told you to choose for money laundering. It's a pet rock. You'd be fired. You're a criminal if you use it. Then we go into 2020, and then all of a sudden, the whole world gets shut down. Now here we are. Zoom calls, technology, TikTok, all these different things, and the way that money moved through the system started to change. Then around December 20th, 2020, a case was initiated against Ripple, Key, Ripple, Aquarius, Ripple, around a currency, Aquarius, water, money, movement, authenticity, a currency that was deemed a security. So this case lasted for 4 years up until today. It's still just wrapping up. So now here we are in 2024, and you're asking the question, am I late to cryptocurrency? Imagine being the person that said, am I late to email? When people were saying nobody's going to use email. That's where you're at right now. Okay. So let's take a deep breath. Let's digest that. I'm going to show you a video from Raoul Paul, and then I'm going to break into where we are and where we're heading and how to be very careful and not get wrecked in this space. Okay. Let's listen to this video and then we'll dive a little bit deeper.
Can invest in it. So I think we've got 6 years to invest as much as we can, whether it's your brain power or your capital, and both if you can, to make as much difference to unfuck your future as possible now. Then when 2030, 2032, whatever comes along, you'll be better prepared because financially you'll have maybe got yourself in a position where you've got the house that you want and some security. Now, as we go through the 2030s, in a world of abundance, we don't even know what money is anymore. So this becomes more complicated. So don't think of it as, oh, I've got my pile of money and everything's fine. It's more about my pile of lifestyle. Do I have the lifestyle I want? Am I protected from vast societal change? And so I think we've got 6 years to do that. 6 years before we don't know how to build a business. 6 years before we can't invest in financial markets. And again, 6 years is not an absolute date, but it's kind of just to give you a rough idea of how urgent this is. This is the most urgent thing. This is supplanted or changed my focus from, hey, everybody needs to be empowered in their financial journey, to you've got 6 years to fucking sort your shit out.
Okay. I've been telling you guys, get your shit together. When I saw this video, it was so powerful because we are in the greatest transition in our living history. I don't think our grandkids will go through this. Okay. So what does he mean by that? Let's look at the facts. The average American has to make $150,000 a year to be middle class. Is that sustainable? No. Is our debt to income sustainable in America? No. Jerome Powell said that, not me. He said our fiscal path is unsustainable in America. We have Elon creating robots that can cook, that can clean. There's drywalling robots. We have cars, self-driving cars now, stuff from the Jetsons. In Arizona here, we have this, I think it's called WAMU or something like that. They're literally driverless cars like Uber that will pick you up. So the gig work that a lot of people are doing to supplement their income, because the 19% of cumulative inflation is being taken away by robots. You think of like how much our business has advanced from 2020 to here. We use tons of AI technology for editing, for posts, all this different stuff. You plug it into a thing, my YouTube video, and it'll break it up into a bunch of different videos. That used to take manpower and woman power. We are heading into what's called The fourth turning. Oh, heading. We're in the fourth turning. By 2030, your whole life is going to be different. People are going to be asking in 2030, is it too late to get into crypto? So that's the macro picture. Let's go down to the micro. So as of today, in December 2024, you may be coming in as it starts to appreciate, right? You may come in first quarter when it starts to appreciate. You got to understand, if you take the macro picture, long-term picture, you are extremely early. Okay. And I'll just say this from my own paradigm. People are going to be saying, hey, I bought XRP at 5. I bought Bitcoin at 100,000. I'm a hero. Think about that. That's what people are going to be saying. But what's going to happen is people are going to come rushing in the next 4 to 5 to 6 months. April, it's going to cool off, and they're going to buy the top, and then it's going to come down, and they're going to be like, why did I do this? You're still super early. So if you get caught at the top and you believe in what you're invested in, hold the line. Hold the line. Our portfolios collapsed in 2022, 85%. I celebrated. I was like, yes. I held my cryptos. When sliding down, on the way down, I started dollar cost averaging in, just like a dollar cost average out. And when it got down to the bottom, I've been buying 2024, or excuse me, 2022, 2023, 2024. And now I'm experiencing the wealth paradigm. I'm pulling profits on the way up, slow, methodical, as everybody's trying to get rich quick. I pull it down. Like you said, I'm unfucking my future. I got my insurance policy stacked, ready to max fund. I got some real estate. I'm going to get more real estate. I got my businesses cash flowing. I invested into my companies. I didn't buy Ferraris. I didn't buy Lambos. Number one is I made sure my family was protected. Number two, I made sure my ecosystem was protected. Number three is this bull run, I'm going to make sure that all my debts and non-negotiables are paid for by assets, and I don't need any money from any of my companies. That's where true wealth is built. So you have to understand, pull yourself to a 30,000 foot overview. You're very, very early. You have to remove your emotions from this. If you believe in what you're investing in and you get caught at the top, you just write it down and you accumulate more. Your bull run number one is learn the fundamentals, get your bumps and bruises, get your education, get your foundation. Bull run number two, which may be the next one for you. I mean, people are still going to profit though. Bull run number two is your wealth. Okay. That's where we're heading to. I got this ecosystem set up over the last 4 years. Now I'm going to be funding those buckets. And the next one is generational wealth. I got the Rockefeller waterfall system set up. And from 2030 and beyond, my family will be wealthy for generation to generation. So are you early? Yes. Do you need to be careful? Absolutely. So let me give you some warnings, okay? Please share this with people. Number one, QFS accounts are a scam. You do not need a QFS account. You don't need to secure your crypto in some quantum financial system. We call it the quantum financial system. That's where we're heading. It's quantum. It's Aquarius. Never send anybody your crypto. It's a scam. Number two is no influencer, specifically me. I'm never going to DM you proactively and ask about how your crypto portfolio is going to do. Ever. I will never ask you to send me money. I'll never ask you to send me your crypto. I do not invest people's crypto. We do not have an investment platform. Those are scams. If it feels too good to be true, it is. Lastly, I talk about this all the time. Hawk Tua, great example. We've coached over 9,000 people. There's horror story after horror story after horror story of people getting wrecked trying to jump and catch different meme coins in these hypes. If you're going to play games with it, throw away money. Literally throw away money. We've seen people lose their life savings chasing meme coins. That's not how wealth is built. There's 35,000 cryptos right now. It is going to dwindle down. First they resist it, then they sue it, then they regulate it, then they join it. We're in regulation and joining phase. If you're going to play in that realm, then make sure you're doing throwaway money. And when you win big, get the hell out. Just like the casino, if you win, get out as soon as possible. But that's not how wealth is built. We don't spend any of our energy in that space. There's not one wealthy person we're communicating with. We're talking about trust. We're talking about Augusta rule. We're talking about insurance. We're talking about building and scaling our companies. We're talking about taking cash flow from our companies, putting it in the capital markets, securing, compounding, and growing. We're not talking about meme coins. We're not always chasing the next hot thing. That's not how wealth is built. Wealth is slow. It's methodical. It's not sexy. So the next 6 years are super duper important. So are you early? Absolutely. Is it going to be really emotional? Hell yes. But if you can build that emotional resilience, you can get that financial literacy. Some of you are going to be saying, you're going to hear this, I promise you. 2030, you're going to hear, I bought Bitcoin. Guess what? I bought Bitcoin at $200,000. I got in cheap. I bought XRP at $10. I got in cheap. And there's going to be people like us that held the line, say, I got in at 17 cents. I got in cheap. It's all relative, guys. Johnny Crypto says it the best. I can't remember. I think it was Apple, or Amazon. Don't quote me on this, but he tells a story. He got in during the speculative phase and made a shitload of money. And he was like, oh, everybody was like, oh, we're too late. So he got out really early, and then real regulation came in and it skyrocketed. He didn't hold the moon bag. So that was a lesson he learned that he taught us. So we always hold a moon bag. 50% I hold forever. 50% I exit. I stack my cash value life insurance. I insure my money. I'm going to get more real estate. I make sure my ecosystem is taken care of. It's my number one responsibility as a man to make sure my ecosystem is all taken care of. Everybody's taken care of in my ecosystem. And then once all that is done, I will not buy any toys or fun stuff until it's paid for by an asset. I won't buy liabilities with my family's money. Buy an asset to pay for the liability. So I hope this information reaches you well. I love you guys very, very much. Just know if you're following me, Christ is King. God is my guide every single day, all day. I'm proud to speak about God and Christ on my channel because it's who I am. And that's what I will always speak about. And I will stand on that until I leave this earth. So I love you guys. I appreciate you. Huge warning, like I said in this video, we'll never proactively DM you. I'll never ask about your crypto. The QFS accounts are a scam. That is not me communicating with you. What I do have for you is hundreds of people message us on a daily basis about cash value life insurance, insuring your family and your wealth. Okay. What I do may not work for you. So what I created is a resource, a needs assessment, description of this video or my social media platform. That needs assessment will get you with the proper team member. I have team members in all 50 states and Canada. They'll do a needs assessment with you. They'll break down your strategy and see what works for you. Okay. Free consultation. We don't get paid by the client. We'll never ask you to send us money. Then on the other side, I have my Coach JV Academy. I've helped 9,000 people get their shit together. Blinders on, my 120-day challenge, community, live calls, market support, Q&A calls, everything you need to put those blinders on and march up this mountain together. That's called the Coach JV Academy, 120-day challenge. I love you guys. As we always say, Warriors, let's get your shit together. Let's go.